Welcome back and thank you for staying with News Diary. Now we are joined by Raymond Mude, who will be telling us about what's trending online. Straight to it. Let's get started with what's happening. Of course, Finance Bill 2024. Today is the D-Day, the day that Kenyans have decided. But even before we get to the bill, President William Ruto is chairing a crucial Kenya parliamentary group meeting at State House right now to whip the legislators to vote for the Finance Bill 2024. Talk to us about that, Ray.
Well, actually, the preparations are in full gear for this particular bill, and even rallying the majority in the House to pass this finance bill without amendments, particularly. That particular bit about amendments is very key. And we've seen even people online asking the parliamentarians, and even when the numbers leaked, people asked parliamentarians to reject this bill, and some have come out in public to say that they will reject it. But it's interesting to see the consumption trends for this particular finance bill, because last year's bill was not as contentious as this one is, because I understand there's even protests being planned along Parliament Road in terms of rallying Kenyans to reject this finance bill. Well, it is also correct to say that Kenyans are at the mercy of the parliamentarians, because they're the ones who represent them in Parliament. Actually, there is a lot of reactions around this, and even as those particular posters continue to do rounds, we wait to see the outcome of that parliamentary group meeting. Remember when President Uhuru Kenyatta once convened a parliamentary group meeting, and it is alleged that no parliamentarian was even able to speak because of the anger and the tone of his speech here, and we wait to see what kind of reactions come from this. But it is ostensibly to rally members of parliament into passing the finance bill, and without amendments, actually.
You know what Kenyans are saying is their leaders do not listen to them, and that's why, you know, this movement, Occupy Parliament, hashtag reject the Finance Bill 2024 is, you know, going on. And the kind of mobilization that I have seen online,
yes,
it's worrying and shocking at the same time. It could be exciting to see Kenyans coming together if, you know, it will bear any fruit. But talk to us about that Reject Finance Bill 2024 hashtag. I know it's been making rounds for a few days now. Flyers have been sent all over. You know, members of parliament, their numbers have been shared. Kenyans are actually bullying their leaders, if I should say so. I mean, it's interesting to see, but at the same time, it's equally scary. By the time Kenyans have gotten to this particular point, maybe enough is enough.
Yeah, you're very right, because there's been a lot of talk online, especially on Twitter, because this morning I can tell you about 3 hashtags that were trending: Occupy Parliament, Petition Bill, and Reject Finance Bill. So I think there's a faction of Kenyans who are divided there in terms of supporting the bill, but the majority seem to be leaning towards opposing the bill because of what Kenyans term as punitive taxes, in terms of bread tax, motor vehicle circulation tax, and all those adjustments in terms of rallying to raise 347 billion to finance the 2024-2025 budget that was read by the Treasury CS in Parliament last week. And it's interesting because Boniface Mwangi is once again at the heart of this campaign and has been rallying Kenyans. Even there's been posters. I don't know if you've come across them, Ashley. I think we had them in our videos. We'll put them up right now. But it is interesting to see the consumption trends, like I said, for this particular finance bill, because Kenyans have been really, really rallying online, and even that particular bit about the numbers leaking came as a shock, and even some parliamentarians have admitted to actually receiving messages asking them to reject the finance bill. But we wait to see how that goes. And you know, the history of demonstrations in Kenya is that it is usually a run-in between protesters and the police. So we wait to see if that also happens. But I understand there was even directives given to those who participate in the finance bill demonstrations to keep safe and avoid run-ins with the police and know that they are under the protection of the Constitution. But let's wait and see, Ashley. We wait for those videos, because I know they'll start doing rounds at around midday.
I guess that's why they were advised to wear black, you know, carry water bottles, get a mask. But it would be interesting to see. Yes. But for me, what really caught my attention is the fact that we're seeing people, you know, social media content creators, people who you'd hardly expect to actually dissect the finance bill.
Yes,
dissecting it.
Indeed. The public discourse has been really great on this one, because even content creators and other Kenyans who do not expect to be bothered about the economics of this country seem to have had the wind of this bill and started discussing it online and even naming some of the proposals. But just to say, Ashley, is that there's also some misinformation around it, because there's some information from the bill that is being blown out of proportion. So it is also advisable for those who are participating in these demos and those who are rallying against this bill to also understand the substance in this bill, because I mean we're in the age of digital and social media, and so there's a lot of misinformation out there. But generally the feeling is that everybody wants not really everybody, the bigger section of Kenyans wants the finance bill rejected.
Okay, let's wait and see what exactly happens today afternoon. But let's move on to another trend. It has been dark days for Kenyans. You know, we've lost a number of celebrities, a number of public figures.
Right.
And, you know, the Kenyans are going online trying to pour their tributes to these fallen celebrities, you know, accidents, some in court, some on the road. What are guys saying about it?
Well, Kenyans have termed 2024 as what is seen as a dark year because of the loss of celebrities such as Fred Omondi, Jambi Koikai, the dad, CDF Fred Ogola, and it is Francis Ogola, my pardon. It is a month that has been really dark, especially for Fred Omondi, because Kenyans felt that he had been laying low and I mean, he had been doing his career, his thing in comedy for quite some time, and he really had big plans for his daughter, It Is Emerging. And now Kenyans are standing with Eric Omondi because he's also been seen to stand with Kenyans in terms of politics, in terms of economics, in terms of, and even the protests that he had staged last week that got him arrested. And now Kenyans are saying, is this how we want 2024 to go? We are mid-month. We are mid-year, rather, and actually today is my birthday, Ashley.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. But now Kenyans are really, really sad in terms of the celebrities that have passed and trying to recount and give condolences to these families. But we hope that the year will end well, and even for the celebrity community and notable persons in the country. We pray for their safety as well, Ashley.
Of course, may their souls continue resting in eternal peace. And of course, I hope you do have a great year, you know. I hope it won't be as dark as, you know, as this one has proven to be so far. But thank you so much, Raymond Muthe, for that. Of course, always a pleasure having you here and talking to us about the trends. And of course, we'll see you next